glad you're safe. I could feel her warmth. My Yuri was here. I'd never gone almost a whole month without seeing her before. This was wartime. I couldn't easily contact her like I could in the old world line. I've been so worried about whether or not my Yuri was okay. No exaggeration to say that I survived this far just to make sure. I raced the entire Alpha world line to save her. No matter what happened, I wanted her to be safe. Oh, Kadeen, you're hurting me. Oh, sorry. I held her too closely. Took a step back. I usually believed, you know. I usually believed she'd get to see Okaring again. Yeah. Hooray! You're safe, nya? Okabe. I heard two more voices I recognized. Ferris, Luca, behind them I saw Kaede. But you're all safe. Okabe, Lukako. I felt myself getting choked up too when I saw Lukako cry. I exchanged greetings with Kaede too. Fubuki had grabbed on like a little kid. She was still pale and trembling. Ferris, I guess you're not wearing your maid outfit for once. Been a long time since anyone's called me Ferris, nya. Ferris spoke sadly. She put her hand around my neck and held me close. Her little pink lips got close to my ear, as if she was about to kiss me. Hey! What's going on? Don't be so embarrassed, nya. She laughed mischievously. And Ferris, no. Romeo Akia whispered into my ear while pretending to kiss me. Careful. Don't trust the Ministry of Defense or the Americans. Adults are all liars. None of them tell the truth. Right, Ferris had a special talent. Cheshire break. Incredibly good at looking into someone's heart, seeing what they were thinking. Yeah, I just figured that out. One of them just tricked me. Ferris looked surprised and took a step back. Sad, yeah. Yeah. And I heard the sound of another engine. This time it was coming from beyond the gate, inside the base. It belonged to a black luxury car with an E on the license plate. Behind it was minibus. Two of them stopped in front of the gate. It was time for my reunion to end. Welcome. An American soldier as tall as a basketball player got out of the car. Welcome, everyone. My name is Hammond. His Japanese was good, but not great. Everyone except Mr. Okabe, please get on the bus. He was smiling, but I could tell he wasn't going to allow any arguments. The other American soldiers were still carrying their rifles, as they stood guard without smiles. Miyama and the other Japanese soldiers were watching us from a distance. They didn't try to stop us. They were just looking downwards. Huh? Everyone but Okaring? What do you mean? No need to be scared. I'm just going to take you a little, talk to you a little. Then we'll send you right to Okinawa Defense Bureau. Come along. Okaring! It's fine. Don't worry. What? Yuki, take care of my Yuri. Okay. He nodded, put her arm around my Yuri's shoulder. She led her to the bus. Everyone else followed. Okaring, tell my parents I said hi. Everyone was on, and the bus left immediately. The area in front of the gate fell silent. It was hard to believe this existed in the same world as all the places I'd crossed on my escape through Japan's main island. Alright, Mr. Okabe, come this way. I need to get in the back seat of a black luxury car. What happened to me once I got inside? I tried to think about it. I realized I was nothing I could do. I was just about to get into the car when... Okabe, run! If you go to America, you won't come back alive! Shimiyama's scream was cut off by the sound of gunfire. In the corner of my eye, I saw the American soldiers firing without hesitation. No way. I tried to turn around when... Get inside! A large hand blocked my vision as Hammond held me down. I couldn't hear Shimoyama's voice anymore. Gaps between his fingers, I could see that nothing was moving. Exactly what that meant. I was shoved into the car before I had time to think about it. This is... I tried to open my mouth, but Hammond locked into my eyes and shook his head. I was supposed to talk, then. Hammond sat next to me, then closed the door. The car started to move. Soon we turned down a different road than the one minibus was taking. America, huh? Never been there before. What did it do to me there? Me as a guinea pig? Could open my head and dissect my brain? Probably wasn't going to be able to do any tourist things. Felt like screaming, but I tried my best to stay calm. Someone I want you to meet. Hammond suddenly spoke. Handed me something. I took it before I even looked at what it was. When I checked, it was a normal smartphone. It's not locked. Just hit that button. Confused, I pressed the button as I was told. Something appeared on the screen. Kurisu. The Amadeus Makase Kurisu. This military have Amadeus. I was about to ask Hammond when... First time in about a month. That feeling came back. Oh, damn. Shifted world lines again. Back to the party? The whole world, all its colors began to shift. There was a feeling of instability, like my brain was unable to recognize where it was, and then dizziness, and a sense of falling like you get when you're anemic. I felt the blood vessels deep within my ears. They sounded really loud. The sense of floating finally stopped. My surroundings coalesced into firm shapes. Ocarine? Yuri was in front of me. I was in the lab in the room I knew well. There was no trace of Okinawa anywhere. Mayuri's gonna get embarrassed if you keep staring like that. I realized that I was staring at Mayuri. Around the room. Dara was sitting in front of the PC like always, hunched over with his back towards me. Suzuha was reading a magazine on the couch. On the open page I could read the title. New encephalitis strikes worldwide. Are you in danger? Same couch. The same cheap fridge. Daru's computer desk. The dirty curtain that cut off the development from the rest of the lab. The wall clock, which I'd picked out of a garbage dump, told me it was past 6. I looked at the calendar and 2010 was already gone. It was January 2011. The world line had changed again. It was back? Old world line? Hey, Mayuri. This is Akihabara, right? Is it not Akihabara? It's Akihabara. What day is it again? The 21st. You know who Gorbachev is? Gorbachev? I think I heard that name. Perestroika, right? Russia? Or was Gorbachev back from the Soviet days? These days, when you think Russia, you think Putin. I'm sure if he was in front of me and he glared at me, I'd beat my pants. I know Putin. He's the president of Russia, right? Did you know he likes doggies? He keeps an Akita. I saw it on the news. President? That's right, he's the president. Huh? Mayuri, Daru, and Suzuha all looked over at me suspiciously. It felt like a long time since anyone had looked at me that way. I was back. No longer had to worry that I might be killed at any second. I felt incredibly relieved. At the same time, I wondered, why had the world line changed again? I needed to calm down and think for a bit. I went up to the roof and booted up the web browser on my smartphone. Like during wartime, it connected immediately. I was amazed at the speed. Just getting an internet connection in the last world line had been difficult enough. I started by searching for Gorbachev, and the results came back instantly. Perestroika, the Soviet Union's first and last president. The August coup d'etat and the collapse of the Soviet Union. All the keywords I'd hoped to see were there. As soon as I confirmed that the Soviet Union was dismantled at the end of the 20th century and no longer existed, I closed the browser. Ugh. Why had the world line shifted again? I hadn't done anything. Didn't have any way to affect the divergence value. What had changed? Whatever had performed the first experiment in Russia undone it? Watched its progress for a month and then been satisfied? They're going to keep doing it. If they did, would I be caught up in it each time? It's so cold. It was a mistake to come outside without a coat on. Nothing I could come up with by myself would be anything more than a guess. Went back to the lab. The wreaths we put up at the entrance for Christmas party were still up. Christmas party, huh? Been a month, hadn't it? It felt like a million years. I had no memories of what I'd done in this world line after the Christmas party. Oh, come to think of it, we left the decorations up. Should take these down. You and Mr. Buki collapsed during the party, right? So there was a big fuss, and we sort of forgot to clean up. You're saying I collapsed? That's when the world line changed? Everyone remembered that I'd collapsed at the Christmas party. They'd come back to the same world line as the one I'd seen in before. If this was Russia's doing, it was terrifying to think they could control the world line to that degree. There was one more thing. It worried me that Fubuki had collapsed too. I stood there lost in thought. Daru and Mayuri looked a little concerned. Okarin? Oh, come to think of it, I was wondering how Nakase is doing. I quickly came up with an excuse. Fubuki's still in the hospital. In the hospital? Even though it'd been a month? She says she's fine, but they won't let her leave. Heard that lately. If you were really, really sick, they wouldn't let you stay in the hospital for very long. Is Fubuki sick with something? Still think she's got this, I guess. Uzuha whispered as she held up the page of the magazine she was reading. New encephalitis strikes worldwide. Are you in danger? Encephalitis? I borrowed the magazine. In about this last November. A glimpse of it on the news. Outside of Japan, they'd seen almost 100 people, albeit with mild symptoms. In Japan, there were 10 people being kept at hospitals for examinations, or so it said. Made its way to Japan? Those 10 was Fubuki then. Transmissible by air? Catch it at the Christmas party, did we? Knew that getting nervous wouldn't help anything, but still, I wondered. Hey, shouldn't you go to the hospital too, Okarin? We're in worse shape than she was, you know? Yeah, I'll think about it. Gave a half-hearted answer to Mayuri, turned back to the magazine. Certain symptoms being found all over the world. Cause unknown. Sudden memory loss. Memories differ from those of the people around you. Losing all sense of the passage of time. The ability to tell the difference between dreams and reality. Having waking dreams. The article was full of things like that. This was just like reading Steiner. Matched exactly with what Shimoyama had told me in the other world line. You have very realistic dreams, for example. In particularly bad instances, they could almost be called waking dreams, until the times you lose the ability to tell the difference between dreams and reality. There are others who say they have very similar dreams, not just one or two. Back then, if Ibuki possessed reading Steiner, too. The reason she collapsed at the Christmas party wasn't some new disease, but the unexpected activation of reading Steiner. I mean, her diagnosis was wrong. The unnecessary tests and treatments they gave her wouldn't help a bit. It looked like I needed to talk to Fubuki. I ended up going over that day. She was at a large general hospital with a medical student department located at Ochanamizu. Close enough to Akihabara I could walk. Getting there was easy. She might get the wrong idea if I went alone. I encouraged Mayuri to come along with me. It would look like I was only coming as an afterthought. It ended up being a bigger deal than I expected. They heard that Mayuri was going. Yuki and Kaede decided to come too. Evidently, they'd all been to visit Fubuki several times before, and they knew exactly where she was located. They walked down the halls without hesitation. It was almost 8 when visiting hours ended, so we needed to hurry. As we passed by a nurse's station, there was a minor commotion. A woman in her late 40s wearing a gray jersey was yelling at the doctors and nurses. "Enough of this! When do I get to go home? We've told you only after you've been examined and gotten the treatment you need. You aren't giving me any kind of treatment. And what was supposed to be a quick exam ended up with me stuck here for a month. What am I supposed to do about my job? Down, there's a lot we still don't know about this disease. Without proper examination and treatment, it's dangerous." Liar! The TV said not to worry because it wasn't that bad. I told you before, that's only if you get the appropriate treatment. One of the nurses just told me you were dizzy. I just felt anemic because dinner was late. I'm just fine. Let me go home. The woman was about ready to grab the doctor by the throat. Several female nurses held her back, then dragged her off somewhere with reassuring words. It scared me. Think Fubuki's okay? I was hurried even faster down the hallway. Fubuki was in a 4-person room at the very end of the hallway. Hesitantly peeked inside. That voice. He'd hear moaning coming from beyond the curtains surrounding Fubuki's bed. Yuri went pale, hurriedly ripped them open. Fubuki. Hey, Arc Boba Fett. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Sorry, gotta get some water. It's not easy reading for almost 3.5 hours straight. I heard you had a good day, Arc Boba Fett. Good, just got back from... Oh, nice! Congrats! How did it go? Good, I hope. That's a gold star, if I ever heard anything. Just reading some good Steins Gate story. I might go for a little bit. My voice is starting to crack. I still gotta read tomorrow. A little bit longer today. Gotta take it easy. Fubuki? Fubuki made a strange noise and spun around as we came in. I looked closer, so that she was sitting on the bed with her legs crossed, watching a show on the LCD TV attached to it. Her eyes were red and swollen with tears. Given the fact that she had a stick of pokey in her mouth, she was probably just crying over a soap opera. Yeah, well, talk hockey, fishing, books, other stuff. Nice. Things in common. Sounds good to me. Huh? Oh, you guys came to see me. Fubuki wiped away her tears and welcomed us with her usual smile. You're scared, Mayushi. I thought you were crying. You really scared us. Sorry. Even as she apologized, she tossed another chocolate-coated stick into her mouth. Her hair was tied up, and she was wearing some kind of headgear. First I thought it was just that she was too lazy to do her hair, but evidently not. There were cords coming out of the headgear attached to a belt around her waist. Are they monitoring her brainwaves? Truce, as unobtrusively as possible, I took a look at the other patients around the room. They were all wearing the same headgear. May have been giving it to all the encephalitis patients. Sorry to bring everybody over, Fubuki. Not at all. You're very welcome. I didn't think Okarin would come. Fubuki stared at me intently. Never done that before, so I started to wonder if there was something on my face. That you collapsed like I did, so I got worried. How are you doing? Just fine. I really don't understand why they won't let me leave. Every day they just do exams, and there's nothing for me to do. I'm so bored. And you're not allowed to use your phone in the rooms. If I want to send a text, I have to go all the way to the lobby and then turn off the lights at 9 so I can't watch the late night anime. I really just don't believe this. Bed was surrounded with portable game consoles, magazines, a miniature DVD player, anything to stave off boredom. Given all the half-empty boxes of snacks, it was hard to believe the disease was as serious as they said on the news. Are you okay, Okarin? Yeah, I told Mayuri this, but I'm fine. I see, I'm glad. She seemed truly relieved. She was still staring at me. What? Suddenly Kaede started to fidget. Not only that, she blushed, then glanced at me, then almost started to cry. She was acting really weird. Kaede? What's wrong? Kaede started fidgeting even more when she realized that everyone was looking at her. She had no choice but to go over and whisper something in Fubuki's ear. Huh? Fubuki, shh! The other girls tried to quiet Fubuki down. It was a hospital. There were other patients in the room. We couldn't make a fuss. Listen to this, everybody. This Kaede Kuroshima here suspects me of secretly dating Okarin. It was our turn to keep from shouting in surprise. Where are you getting that from? Because according to Mayuri, you were the one who wanted to come see Fubuki today, right? That's... well, that's true. There was another reason, but I couldn't say that. And Fubuki and Okarin were staring longingly at one another. We were not staring longingly at one another. That's not it. Fubuki tried to scratch her hair, but the headgear blocked her way and she gave up. I had this really realistic dream. Realistic dream? Startled. It had been what I wanted to find out. It was something this evening. I was kind of spacing out. There's just nothing to do around here. And somehow, I don't really remember, but me and Okarin and Yuki were all taken somewhere in a car by these scary men. I was there too? Yeah. It was the same. When Fubuki had experienced the same things I'd gone through in the other world line. This evening would have been the same time I was experiencing it. Peek through the curtains to make sure that none of the hospital staff were around. Sorry guys, can you leave me alone with Nakase for a bit? Huh? What? No way. It's not like that. I wasn't really sure how to handle that reaction. Is it something you don't want Mayushi and everyone else to know about? About her disease. Okay, I understand. Yuri nodded and went outside the curtains. The other two looked bothered, but they followed her. Nakase, did this dream of yours take place in Okinawa? Huh? Yeah, that's right. I think it was Okinawa. I think I saw a sign saying so when I was in the car. Inside the car was you, me, and Yuki, and the driver, and a short man who was an SDF soldier. Yeah, the man's name was Shimuyama. Fubuki suddenly went pale. The dream about being in a car in Okinawa could be written as off as a coincidence, but knowing the exact name of the man in the shared dream was a different matter entirely. How? Why? The man talked to you about waking dreams and the president of Russia. That's right. Then we were taken to a U.S. Army base. There you met up with Mayuri and the others and said goodbye to me. Wookie was too stunned to speak. There was no room for doubt. My suspicion turned into a certainty. Wookie had a stronger reading Steiner than most people, and remembered the other world line as a relatively realistic dream. In the dream, the Chimoyama guy said that you and I both had memories of another world. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I hesitated for a moment, but then I gave her a brief explanation of my own reading Steiner ability. One thing I wanted to make sure she understood was that her dreams weren't caused by an illness. Her reaction wasn't what I expected. Then there may be others who weren't sick too? There are. There's nothing to do, so I talk to the others a lot about the dreams we have. Sometimes it's just amazing how similar they are. As a kid in elementary school was in the next room. We became friends. They said they'd never been to Okinawa, but they had a dream that they were there. Tokyo had burned down, and the self-defense forces saved them and took them there. I see. No. It was true, then it wasn't just Fubuki. There were other patients who were being kept in the hospital for no reason, who didn't have any kind of disease at all. Should I talk to the doctors? No, I don't think they'd believe you. If I started to think that your delusions were getting worse. Oh, you're right. You shouldn't tell the others yet. You don't want there to be a fuss. Yeah. He poked her head through the curtain. Okabe, a nurse is coming. Visiting hours are over for today. At the clock, it was well past 8. Sorry for being in such a rush, Fubuki. Next time we'll come earlier so we have more time. Aw, Mayushi, don't go. But the nurse will get mad. Let them get mad. Sleep with me tonight. Fubuki was back to her usual self. She grabbed Mayuri's hand and held it tight. Katie chuckled, forced her to let go. Be selfish. We'll come as often as we can. Not good enough. Come tomorrow, the day after. As soon as school's over. I'm so bored I could die. Wiki flowed her arms and legs about. It was a bit too deliberate if you ask me. Kaede patted her on the head. Right. Bye-bye. Yuri and Yuki went over to pat her too. Before long, she looked like a little puppy in a kennel being petted. Stood behind and exited the room. The last to leave. Before I did, I turned around and saw Fubuki staring at us from the bed. Our eyes met, so I nodded a little. It's okay. You're not sick, so don't worry. I don't know if she understood what I meant, but she nodded back. Suzuha. Want to talk in private? I'll wait for you to contact me. Short message made me feel tense. Very tense. After I said my goodbyes to the others, I contacted Suzuha. She told me to come to the top of the radio building. I arrived. She was standing silently on the dark roof. No trace of a smile on her face. Her eyes shone in the darkness. As she glared at me, I felt a shiver run down my spine. Not the Suzuha I was used to. This was her true self. Whatever she wanted to talk to me about, I was sure I wasn't going to like it. Sorry to bring you out here like this, Uncle Okarin. What you want to talk about? Okay. I'm really not good at talking to people or trying to persuade them, you know. The way she stumbled over her words, it was clearly something she didn't want to talk about. Just say it. That's what the old you would have done, right? Yeah, you're right. Trying to break this to me gently? See, thanks. Not really like that. Suzuha got a little annoyed, tried to say something back to me, but ended up swallowing her words. To be honest, it was a bit of a shock at first. So different than the Suzuha I know. Can't help it. When the world line changes, so does the environment you grew up in. That changes your personality and how you think. Yeah, but I don't think that anymore. You're still the Suzuha I know. No, I really am different. I'm not the Suzuha Amina you knew well, Uncle Okarin. Suzuha, I followed you today. Followed me? That's right. All the way into the hospital. What'd she say? Would she do that? No, I knew the answer without even asking. There's only one reason she would do something like that. You realize that I jumped world lines. I'd always suspected that your reading Steiner might have activated on Christmas Eve. Not just then, today too. Now I'm sure. I deliberately avoided telling Suzuha that the world line had changed. It was obvious that she would react like this. Tell me, is this a different world line than it was before? What will you do with the answer? Just tell me. It's an order, Okabe Rentaro. Gulped as I saw a pull of a gleaming pistol out from her jacket. It aimed right between my eyes. This is a joke, right? I wouldn't do this as a joke. Felt like Suzuha was trying to revert to who she was when I'd first come to the Beta World Line. Put her mission above everything else. So desperate it hurt to even look at her. Happened if she shot me here. Imagined myself lying on the ground. In a pool of blood. Oh my god, Ego, hello! And everyone else, hello! D-Gen, how have you been? It's been far too long. I think the last time I saw you was last year. Ori and the Will-o'-the-Wisps. Hi, D-Gen. Oh, you just caught me reading Steins Gate. I'm gonna read for a little bit more. Story's getting good. I'm probably gonna finish it tomorrow, if not Valentine's Day. I've been alright. School and stuff, get me busy. Hope you're doing okay too. Oh yeah, I'm doing a lot better. Super good. Super busy too. But I'm glad you're good as well. I'm glad you're keeping up with your studies. I imagined myself laying on the ground in a pool of blood. Oof. In my mind, the image overlapped with Kurisu's dead body. Aw, thank you, D-Gen. Hugs all around. Wholesome stream it is. I closed my eyes and grit my teeth, trying to avoid a flashback. Spent the last month trying to escape to Okinawa in the middle of a war. I still wasn't used to having a gun pointed right at me. I'll ask you one more time. Did the world line change? Is this a different world than it was before? Suzuha's hands were shaking a little as she held the gun. That would have been unimaginable when she'd first come here from the future. Maybe she was ashamed of it because she bit down on her teeth even harder. Must have bit her lip when she did so, because a single trail of blood ran down her jaw and dripped into the ground. I stared at the blood as I answered. Don't worry, we're in the same world line we were before. You're sure? Yeah, it's true that the world lines moved once, but we came back, I think. Who's responsible? Russia? I think so. Which means they finally started experimenting with the time machine. I nodded. That means there's no time to waste. If they keep experimenting, something will happen that can't be changed. It might close the path to Steins Gate. Cool. I shouldn't have wasted time worrying. I'm done trying to get you to change your mind. Bro, why is it always Russia? Come on, guys. Oh, it's not Russia's fault. It's actually a Japanese man's fault who fled to Russia to help them make something, and he got Russia involved. So this time, it's a single Japanese guy's fault. And he's a real piece of... You can guess the rest of what I was gonna say. What will you do? Okay, Bimantaro, you're going to follow my orders. You're coming back to July 28th with me. If I refuse, I won't let you refuse. You okay with that? What? Or are you okay with erasing this world line? Shut up! A horrible ringing in my ears, a fierce pain in my eardrums. A second later, the smell of gunpowder passed by my face. She really shot at me. Next time, I won't be a threat. I'll shoot you. She was glaring at me if she was about to cry. We stared at each other in silence. I tried as hard as I could to come up with something to calm her down, but nothing came to me. Nothing I could come up with would get her to change her mind. What should I do? Suzuha, Okurin, what are you doing? Suddenly I heard Daru's voice. I turned and saw that he'd come just out of the door near the stairs. Dad, how? I got a message from Mayushi and Amanashi. They said you contacted Okurin. I had a bad feeling, so I decided to look for you. Then I got a message from an unknown sender. Unknown sender? He sent me a URL that led to a map of this place. I thought you might be here, so I came right over. Then I heard a gunshot and it really scared me. Trying to get Psychopath vibes, but with time traveling. Yeah. I could see that. Psychopath's mandatory happiness. It's in the same reign. It's a visual novel. It's really good though. So espionage, time travel, world lines, attractor theory, science. Daru's whole body was covered in sweat. Even as he spoke, large beads were appearing on his forehead. He must have really hurried. Seems cool. Oh, so very cool. I'll have to link you to the archive channel when I upload it. It's a really good read. And the best part is, it's an audiobook now because I've read the entire thing. So you can just have it on in the background while you study. Good grades, and you get to listen to a top-notch story. Win-win if you ask me. Yay! Perfect. The Suzuha was with the gun. Suzuha wasn't actually. Well, not so sure about good grades. Well, as long as you try your best. If they're grades you actually put a decent effort into, then I'm cool with that. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate. I need it. Thank you. Posture check as well. Oh man, it's been a while. I gotta remember. Usually I have like, there'll be a pause or I'll die or something. And that's when I'll stretch, but when you're reading a book non-stop because it's so good, it's like, when you forget. You gotta find time to stretch. Also gotta take care of my voice. Thank you, D-Gen. Let me go ahead and redeem these. Alright. We will continue the story for a little bit longer. So hold tight, everyone. Let's see what happens next. You wouldn't fire a gun if you didn't have a reason. Duh. Come on, Suzuha. Out with it. Dad, you know what it is. What's that? World line changed. Russia started experimenting with the time machine. Sure? Why I'm doing this? At this rate, it'll be too late to do anything. We won't reach Steins Gate. We won't be able to stop the Third World War. Lots of people will die. Mom will die. I won't be able to stop any of it. It would be really bad. But still, even if you threaten Okuri and force him to go back to the past with you, is that really going to work? Dara's normally easygoing expression had suddenly turned serious. Since I started to research the time machine and the world lines, I've kind of figured something out. Okuri might be right. It may be impossible to save Makaseshi the normal way. Oh, you're saying it too, Dad? The rules of causality and the world lines can be changed that easily. Okurin should have been able to save Mayushi in the Alpha world line, right? What am I supposed to do? Dara brought his fist up to his chest. Well, we're researching, right? But there's no time. It's okay. Just leave it to me. I'll figure something out. I promise. You should listen to your dad once in a while. Dara's voice was strong and kind of in a way you'd never imagined he was capable of. He softly took the gun from Suzuha's hands. She didn't resist. Here, you forgot something that's way more important than a gun. On cold days like today, you should be wearing these. Haru took something out of his pocket, presented it to Suzuha's hands. Oh, her gloves. It's a pair of handmade gloves. It was the present that Yuki had given her at the Christmas party. Aww. I remembered it well. I gave her the gloves. Warm tears started to flow down her face. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do anymore. Yeah. Help me, Dad. Help me, please. Her shoulders shook as the tears poured down. I turned my eye towards the time machine, a silhouette in the darkness. I decided, I'm not getting back in that thing. No matter what Daru said, no matter how Suzuha threatened me, I wasn't going back to the past. I can't look back. Dang. Next thing she knew, Suzuha was inside the time machine, wrapped up in a blanket. She must have been crying a lot because she hadn't even noticed that she'd come inside the time machine. That when Taro had left. Her dad was next to her. He was also wrapped up in a blanket and he was looking at her. Have you calmed down? Time is it? Wiped away the tears as she asked. So like, you're behind the camera. Ha! First person type of thing. Yes, I am. You kind of see Okabe occasionally, but yeah. First person view, so you see everyone else except for Okabe. I see, I see. Almost a new day. Sorry to keep you out this late. Fine, it's fine. Told you before, you can always count on your dad. Yeah. Time machine's hatch was still open. The cold air was pouring in. Each time they spoke, they could see their breath turn white. The machine was still silent. They could use the life support system in the cockpit to keep out the cold. She didn't want to waste the energy. Rubbed her cheeks with her glove-covered hands. And her hands were the one part of her that wasn't cold. You know, I think someday Oken is going to work with us. No, he's going to be our leader. Suha was a little surprised to see Ataru speaking seriously. Normally, all Ataru ever did was screw around. Your gadget lab only exists because of Okurin. He's having a hard time right now. He'll get over it. And then Hoenn Kyoma will revive. You know, the name Phoenix isn't just for show. That time comes, Okurin will probably get in the time machine himself. without needing you to tell him to. Suzuha realized Itaru was trying to make her feel better. Suddenly, deep in her heart, she felt a little warmer. Wholesome, Dad. Dad, you realize how embarrassing the things you're saying are? Yeah, you're right. No way I could say that in front of Okarine. Can I write a letter to Uncle Okarine before tomorrow? If I try to talk to him directly, I'll end up acting weird again. I'll tell him I'm sorry. I'm going to keep fighting a little longer. I want him to just think about it. Still, there's really not a lot of time left. Not a lot of time because Russia started their experiments. See, the internal battery for the quantum computer that controls the time machine is just about to run out. Seriously? I told you I used the machine a lot starting in 1998 in order to look for Kakari. It wasn't part of the original plan. Of course, that meant I had to use the computer that controls the machine more than I'd meant to. That drained the battery. The battery's actually closer to running out than the fuel. It'll be hard to make the machine jump the way it's supposed to. If it's just a battery, can we swap it or recharge it? No. Can I take a look at it? Suha nodded and pointed to a piece of the core of the machine. Taro leaned his huge body forward to take a look, but soon he gave out a moan of confusion. What is this thing? The battery was the same size as the cars, but it was the product of 2036's technology. Ataru lived in the year 2010. There was probably no way he could understand it. From Ataru's perspective, it might as well have been a black box of unknown technology. A quick look wouldn't tell him anything about how it was built or how it would work. One reason why Suzuha had agreed to let him look at it. I don't think he can do anything with 2010's technology. Basically the same as a disposable battery. You can't charge it, you can't swap it out. Can you replace it with a battery or generator from this time? Suzuha shook her head helplessly. I tried that a long time ago, but it didn't work. I asked Big Sis Rumi to get me a car battery, one of the big ones they use in trucks. I hooked it up and it didn't last a second. What did you just say? I tried a gas-powered generator, it didn't work either. I can't even imagine how much gasoline you'd need. We can't fit that much gas inside the machine anyway. Big Sis Rumi went through a lot of trouble to get me one of the latest fuel cell batteries. And that wasn't good enough. Your tech is amazing. All that power in something this small? Taro was staring in amazement at the futuristic battery. Only we could use garbage as fuel, like in that one science fiction movie, Back to the Future. How long is it gonna last? Probably 1 or 2 more jumps at most. That's all? And while the machine shut down, it's still calculating gravity fields and positional coordinates constantly. Even if we don't jump, the battery will eventually run out. Got another 6 months of battery at most before we lose the ability to do an accurate jump. All the time we have to save Makase Kurusu. Suzuha grabbed onto Itaru's back and took a deep breath. It was squishy and it felt good. What happens if the battery runs out and we can't control the machine? We lose control of the Kerr black hole, are trapped beyond the event horizon for eternity. You can say stuff like that, it's bad luck. Yeah, sorry. Wonder what it's like. Wonder if it's calm and quiet like this, and it just stays that way for eternity. Maybe that wouldn't be so bad. She clung to her father's warm back. Suzuha started to feel very sleepy. If she let her guard down for a moment, she was sure to fall asleep. Been trained to fight on the battlefield, but this wasn't the battlefield. She was exhausted from crying. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to let herself sleep once in a while. Damn. She sat down and held her knees like a child. She softly closed her eyes. See, so Suzuha's leaving before summer ends, no matter what Okarin decides. Before she fell asleep, she thought she heard her father talking to himself. See, so we'll go. I'll read a little bit more, you guys, and then I think I'm gonna call it a stream. I am gonna be streaming tomorrow and Sunday, perhaps, if I don't finish this game by tomorrow. So, my voice is starting to wear thin. If I could read on for like a full fat 9 more hours, believe me, I would love to do it. This is like, oh man, the drama. The plot points. I'll hopefully catch you tomorrow. Yes, I'll be streaming tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and well, 9:30 in the morning and also 9:30 at night. So Dejin, I should be streaming later tonight, your time, and early the next day. So if you're awake tonight, you can probably catch the stream again. In about, I don't know, what, 12 hours? Like I said, your nighttime, my morning time. So there's only so much I can read before I just start getting raspy. And I gotta take a break. And I don't want to read without you guys, so it's you know, it'll be a good place to stop. So I'll read for about a couple more minutes. So let's see what happens. This is truly paradise. Maho's eyes were shining like a little girl's. Alrighty. How many girls would look like that if you brought them to a place like this? The one who brought her here, she seemed to have forgotten about me entirely. She was wandering down the narrow corridors where all the computer parts were, as if in a daze. Then she came to a stop in front of one of them. Inside the shop were lots of little plastic bins filled with junk parts of all sizes. They'd been taken off with discarded PCs and appliances. Each of them was obviously dirty, and lots of them were covered in dust. What's this board do? Do you think it's got a beautiful pattern like a piece of art? It's made out of aluminum. Oh, yeah. What? An IFX 008 image sensor? Can't believe it. This belongs in a museum. What's it doing here? Yeah. K-Bar is even more amazing than I'd heard. Watching the ecstasy on Maho's face creeped me out a little. This is who Maho really is. Kurusu spoke from inside my phone. Maho said she wanted to go out with Kurusu today. So I ended up going on a strange date with the two girls at once. This might be another test of Amadeus' capabilities. I've been here a few times, but I've only ever seen one other person stare lovingly at a computer part like that. I know you're talking about Hashida, right? Yeah. I feel kind of bad for Maho, if you're comparing her to him. From what he said, he's an incredible pervert. That's right. I was rude to Maho. It was early afternoon on a Sunday. The reason I'd come with Maho to the computer parts shop. Dr. Leskin and Maho were heading back to America in a few days. She was leaving soon, so she wanted me to show her some around Akihabara like I'd promised. That's what her message had said. So we met in front of the station in the morning. I asked her where she wanted to go. This was the result. By the way, our first stop was Yodobayashi, her second soft map. I'd already taken her to a lot of used PC and retro PC shops tucked away in tiny alleys. You like these kind of computer parts, Maho? Not the parts, really. I just like building things. I used to make plastic models all the time when I was a kid. Did you make, germanium radios and stuff? I hurt myself soldering all the time. Me too. I guess everybody's the same way, aren't they? Probably not everybody. Actually, I'd assumed that it was a minority of people who soldered in their homes growing up. Wow, I could stare at this stuff forever. Why didn't I come here sooner, I wonder? Felt like she was never going to leave unless I dragged her out. Finally managed to succeed in getting her away from the parts shop by telling her it was time to eat. We went out to the main road. The area was close to the station, so it was especially crowded. Thanks to the crowds of people waiting to cross the street, you couldn't even walk in a straight line. Now then, where to eat? First idea was May Queen Neon. After the way she reacted last time, it's probably best to avoid it. Still, Sampu wasn't a good choice for someone new to Akihabara. Jensen? Or maybe Kitchenjiro? Kuga Curry would work too. As I stood there thinking... Oh. Huh? Maho stopped moving in front of the arcade directly ahead of us. Evidently, she was looking at the crane games on the first floor. Can we take a look inside? I nodded. Mahal walked up to the crane game and pressed her face against the glass like a little kid. Inside the glass were characters from Mat Channel memes, all of different sizes. Maybe Mahal was a secret ad channeler, like Kurisu. Pretty close, so it was possible. Oh my god, the art is so good. Oh, definitely. This game. Music is great, story is phenomenal. Art, fantastic. It's so good. I definitely have to link you to my entire read-through, DGen. I think you'll enjoy it. Like, a lot. And then, oh man, the story. Don't even... The ups and downs, the twists and turns. Where's my Magneto perfection? I leaned over to Maho and whispered a magic spell into her ear. Elbow. Huh? Just confused her. What? What's a null? What? Nothing. Forget it. Marissa was glaring cold daggers at me from inside the smartphone, but I decided to ignore it. Maho, you want that stuffed animal? Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? Kurisu? Ooh, Maho. What? Why'd you look so flustered? It's nothing. A little surprised, honestly. You just said you liked computer parts, so I figured your taste would be more boyish. Okabe, you need to learn some tact. Say something romantic like, the gap between my expectations and the reality is really cute. Sorry. It's fine, really. Actually, Kurisu had one of these stuffed animals in her bedroom. Is she? Ah, Maho. Did she buy it off the internet and have it shipped to America? Does it really matter? As you can tell, she's a secret ad channeler. What's an ad channeler? Never heard of it. Noble. And as part of Amadeus, she hadn't changed a bit. Maho, did Kurisu ever tell you what kind of character this was? Right, people talk like that. The gap between your interests and my expectations is really cute. If you live and breathe science, you talk like that. No, I asked several times and she kept dodging the question. I'm sure. Well, I always kind of wondered. You know Okabe? Well, Okabe? Chill ran down my spine as I heard the angry voice from the smartphone. Adjust glasses. Nice. I don't actually know. I see. Sheesh, I defended your honor, Kurisu. You better be grateful. Can I give it a try? Maho took her wallet out of her pocket, put a 100 yen coin into the machine. You move this arm back and forth to grab the stuffed animal, right? Have you never done this before? Maho only ever plays racing games. That's right. Maho nodded and pushed the control button. Managing to move the arm directly over her target, she smiled, satisfied. It's simple. I just wait for the arm to automatically grab it, right? Oh, well, normally, yeah. The arm went straight for the doll, but the angle was slightly off. It didn't grab it right. That doesn't make sense! What just happened? That's what happens your first time. That face. Maho gave it several more tries, but didn't seem to get the hang of it. He groaned and took at least 300 yen to the back of the arcade. She walked over to a game with a red and white two-tone Formula 1 car on the side of the cabinet. She slid inside, still angry. I remember that one was a CG racing game based off of real circuits. Profile picture. Oh yeah. Okabe, Okabe. What is it? That's your chance to show your manliness. Manliness? That stuffed animal that Maho couldn't, I mean. Oh, I see. Give it to Maho. Is that what she was trying to say? Manliness aside, after seeing how badly she wanted it, I want to try and help her. Took some coins out of my pocket and checked how much money I was carrying. Okay, it's been a while. Let's try this. But honestly, I'm not very good at these games either. Even so, I was sure I could do better than Maho. Might as well give it a try. Oh. Did we do it? Did we do it? No! Sadness. Spain without the S. Spain without the S. I did. No! I jinxed it. What have I done? And so, after trying several times, whether it was luck or skill, I managed to get the stuffed animal easier than I expected. Ha, do you be like that? Good. I'm not the only one. Okay. Nice. I stuffed it into a bag and went back to the racing game Maho was playing. For some reason, there was a crowd of about 10 people around it. Wow, who is that girl? Don't ask me. Is she in elementary school? I can't believe how good she is. Think she'll set a new record? The crowd was whispering to one another. All of them seemed to be amazed. I made my way into the crowd and looked at the screen. The game Maho was playing was one of those where you had to clear each stage in a set time or else it'd be game over. With each race, the course got more and more difficult. She was placing first every time with ease. The crowd watched in awe. She finally made it to the end of the last stage well ahead of the other racers. She set a new record. Phew. She had a satisfied smile on her face and she looked at the flashy congratulations graphic on the ending screen. Then she noticed the crowd around her and her body jerked. Congratulations, you set the record for our store. Poggers, dude. Oh yeah. An arcade employee walked over to Maho and started to clap. The crowd started to clap as well. Maho's face went beet red. I should probably help her. I pushed my way through the crowd and grabbed her hand, pulled her up. Let's go. Oh yeah. Never seen her this obedient before. We made our way through the hustle, and Hustle finally got us out of the arcade. Maho sighed in a relief. Phew, that was careless of me. What was? I got mad and I got serious. Guess of this? Handed her the bag with the prize in it. What? She opened the bag and took out the stuffed animal. This... You got it? I got lucky. You can have it as a present. Really? It won't do me any good. Really? Okay, I'll take it then. Maho hugged the doll tight to her chest with the innocent smile of a child. Seeing how happy she was made me happy too. After Kurisu died, her mom showed me a lot of the things she left behind. But this was something that Kurisu really loved. Her mom kept it in her own bedroom. She did know it was from an ad channeler meme. It was actually pretty cute. I could see her keeping it as a memory of her daughter. But after what happened to Kurisu's house, I'm sure it burned up too. Wow. So can I give it to her mom in America? Of course, if you think she'll like it, that's what would be best. Thanks. Okay, what next? Any place else you'd want to see? Guess you wouldn't be interested in anime or game stores. Uh-oh. Vicious eyes of a waifu. Kurisu, I'm sorry, but can you leave me alone with Okabe for a little while? Maho, you finally decided to be honest with yourself? Okabe, don't screw this up. Huh? Good luck, Maho. Bye! Oh god. Maho? There's one place I want to go. Yeah, where is it? Is it someplace you didn't want Kurisu knowing about? You can guess where, right? The smile was gone from Maho's face. She looked like she'd come to some kind of decision. I realized where she wanted to go. Take me to the radio building. Radio building? Wanted me to take her there. I understood immediately, because that was where Makise Kurisu had died. No. Sadness. Spain without the S. Oh my god. Alright, well. Here seems like a good place to save. Oh man. Right? It's getting good. Trust me, DGen, I made the first night I played this game, I was like, I'm gonna find a place to save, you guys. And then I kept going. And then I kept going, and I was like, I'll find a place to save. And then I realized the story will always be good. Don't be afraid to take breaks. Legit. I only wanted to stream for like 3 hours. I ended up streaming for 9 straight. So, it's a really, really good story, but I'll find a place to save. Beats the game. Don't tempt me. I have a stream tomorrow morning, otherwise maybe I could. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a good spot. It looks like it's gonna get very sentimental, emotional. I still don't think we're anywhere near the end, but yeah, oh man, this game is so good. I will definitely have to link it to you, DGen, for sure. But yeah, everybody, we had a pretty big stream. I know me, doing anytime I read books, it's, you know, I try to make it as fun as possible. I know you can only get so much fun out of reading together. This is reading Ego though, so. I'll be back tomorrow to read more, starting as soon as 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll continue with we'll pick up on the 23rd of January, Sunday. We'll find out what Maho exactly does. It seems like there's feelings to be expressed. I honestly, anything can happen, so we'll find out. But the music seems dramatic, so we'll see. I might beat the game. I am doing a 100% run. I have 2 endings left to get. This playthrough currently is 1 of 2, so my time playing this, playing this game, reading the story is coming to an end, and I'm honestly a little sad because I don't want it to. It's bittersweet, but yeah. Again, I want to give shout outs to everyone that hung out, kept the chat lively. Oh, you've already had some. Yeah, I've gotten 3 endings thus far. I definitely have to share them with you. Maybe I'll make like a highlight thing of all the endings. There's 5 endings. I've gotten 3 of them. Tomorrow will definitely be 4. Maybe 5? If not, Valentine's Day will be 5. And then we'll be good. And then I don't know. It'll be a long while before I read another book on stream. I'll have to let all my emotions calm before I jump into another story. But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed the series, both Steins Gate and Steins Gate Zero. And shout outs, of course, to Sancheezy, Yenboy, Dgen, Arc Boba Fett, Frollo, Yenboy, if I didn't say that. Who else was in the chat tonight? Little. There was a new follower, I believe. Shouting Gun? Oh, there we go. Ah, yes. Shouting Gun. Glad I looked at the chat. Shout out to Ego for providing his beautiful voice. Aw, thank you, DJ. I appreciate it. Like I said, I try to make it interesting. I try to make things, fun as I can make them. But yeah, after reading for 9 hours straight, yet like the day after, I was like, I could not speak. So I definitely have to force myself to take breaks with games like this, where I'm constantly reading. Like the only breaks I get are to drink water, to say hello to someone, or to give out gold stars and hugs and whatnot. But I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to come back. We got about 2 or 3 more streams left, I'm thinking. And yeah, we'll see how this ends. I have a lot of expectations and hype for the ultimate conclusion. But yeah, that's gonna do it, everyone. Shout outs to all of you again for keeping the chat lively, hanging out, letting me read to you all. I really appreciate it. As I said, I'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to know what the time conversion is, in case you live outside of the US or you're not Pacific Standard, feel free to look at my Twitch schedule on my page. All time conversions of my schedule should be automatically corrected to your current time or regional time, so you can plan accordingly. But yeah, super excited. Thank you all again. As I always say, your viewership and support mean the world to me. They never go unnoticed or take it for granted. So thank you all again. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's time for what my #1 mod with a dad bod Tim Kara calls the Truman Show outro. So to everyone hanging out and sticking around to the end of the stream, thank you for hanging out as my voice starts to break. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I can see you guys tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We might get it done. Ultimate finale time, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But I just want to say, no matter where you're watching from, I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm Ego, the Visual Culturist, signing out, and I'll see you guys next stream. Take care, Dgen. Take care, Yenboy, Arc Boba Fett, Sancheezy, everyone else in the chat that's hanging out. See you all tomorrow. Woo! Take care, Ego. Thank you, Dgen. You too. Hopefully I'll catch you tomorrow. I wouldn't want you to miss anything that you've seen thus far. Alright, everyone. Take care, y'all. Bye.